Okay, welcome to the Specialist Portfolio module. I'm just going to do a very brief introduction to this. It's in essence really a non-taught module in that it's quite different from most of the other modules. It starts on November the 23rd and concludes with your hand-in of it in April 2010. So there is quite an extensive period of time that you've got to use to produce what's required. And what is required in essence is you to reflect critically upon either the work that you carry out as an advice practitioner or an aspect of the advice organisation that you work for, or a component of that. So the specialist portfolio requires you to produce three 1,000 word what we refer to as contextualized statements. So you need to start by thinking about what will be the subject matter for each of your 1,000 word statements. So for instance, if you are an advice worker who undertakes casework, or casework supervision perhaps, then you may choose perhaps a case as one of your as the basis for one of your contextualized statements. You would then using that case, you would engage in critical reflection upon that case. In other words, a forensic examination of the components of that case and your role, perhaps your client's role and function within it. It is something that advisors don't very often get an opportunity to do, and that's engage in self-reflection as to identifying what perhaps were positive components or aspects and components or aspects which you could improve upon based upon your reflection. That's the idea. The idea is to develop you as reflective practitioners. In other words, that you can become progressively more adept and more proficient at the work that you carry out. And you can only do that if you are able to sit back and reflect upon the work that you do. If you're not a caseworker, or even if you are a caseworker, you may choose, you will need to choose another two topics, so to make up the three, and one of them might be, let's say for instance, managing the client's expectations. Any advice worker will know that the client or the clients will have expectations of you, the advice professional. And part of the relationship between you and your client will be to manage their expectations so that they don't have unrealistic expectations of you. So perhaps another one of your contextualized statements could be an analysis, again a forensic analysis, critical analysis of managing clients' expectations. Okay, so you may well be able to find some theory about managing expectations of clients. It may not be necessarily an advice work scenario. It may be in social work or nursing even. And you would also have some experiences of your own, and you would reflect critically in 1,000 words on that. If you've got any supporting documentation for any of the scenarios, any of the contextualized statements, so for instance if you pick a case study, then you may have some case files. You would need to of course clearly anonymise those so that no one's identifiable from them, but they may prove to support what your statement says. Okay, have a read through the sections of the module. Have a look at the reading suggestions that there are. And also, by all means, start to contact me by email so that I can provide you with some guidance and, clearly, some reassurance. Okay, so have an explore, see what you make of the idea of constructing 3 1,000-word statements. You've got plenty of time to do it. So the first thing is to read through the module and engage in a thought process to identify some topics. Okay, thank you. Hope you enjoy it. Speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.